Hello everyone, my name is Meghan LeVota, and I was going to share a quick observation I had about NP types. I was going to post this in my Facebook group, which if you aren't in my Facebook group, join by looking at the link below. It's Personality Typology for Self-Growth. But I figured that if I said this out loud, it might make more sense to you all, and also you'll hear the tone that I'm speaking and maybe not take it personally. But pretty much something that I've noticed from NP types that I want to know if you guys have also noticed that is due to their lack of extroverted sensing is if I am walking and they're in my space, like if I need to grab something, like if I'm at the grocery store and they're like kind of in the way, or I've noticed this from working at a coffee shop with some NP types, if you're like walking and you can feel like I feel like I try and gesture or something with SE, like an excuse me sort of thing, or I assume that someone would know that clearly I need this and you're in the way of the thing that I need. But what I guess I'm trying to say is that I don't think that NPs have a great sense of their surroundings, and I don't think that they instinctively move out of the way. I don't feel like they can sense that they're in someone's way. And I know how that might sound from an NP listening to this. You might think that I am just like this EJ that just wants to barrel through people. But I think just based on my observations, I really feel like extroverted sensing just has a sense, you know, of their surroundings and can sort of move out of the way before they get in someone's way. And this is just a spatial awareness thing. Like introverted sensing has its own sort of spatial awareness things that I know I am not as good at. I can't think of any examples right now. But more specifically, I would say that NFPs might say, oh, I'm sorry, when they aren't in the way, because they don't want to be in the way. But NTPs might just not know that they're in the way. I don't know, this can manifest in different ways. And like, I understand that like maybe I should say like, oh, excuse me, but like, I don't know, whenever I've like worked at a coffee shop with an SE user or any sort of food service, like from whenever I was in high school or whatever, or whenever I've been working on a project and moving around with like a fellow SE user, I always feel like we get into this sort of flow where like we don't bump into each other, we don't like both grab the scissors at the same time and be like, oh, whoops, or something. Like, I don't know like how to describe the awkwardness, but I want to know if any of you NPs relate to this, or if any of you NJs or SPs relate to feeling like you keep accidentally bumping into NPs without meaning to, because at least for me, I expect people to sense whenever I'm like on the way and that I need something. And this, I think, you know, it doesn't have to be like a food service thing. I'm just trying to think of an example of like when you're working on a project together and you both are sharing the same space. This could be as simple as like a couple sharing the same space and like trying to make dinner together, and then like both trying to grab water at the same time, or some, like, I feel like NE awkwardly does those things because they might just be focused on their sensory needs with introverted sensing and not as aware of the space that they are taking up. Another thing that I noticed that is similar to this is that whenever I'm shopping with NE users, even SJs, like my ESFJ mom does this, sometimes they will stop in the middle of the aisle and like be like, what price or which, this is such a NE thing because you could see it's connected to SI. They'll stop in the middle of the aisle and they'll be like, which can of tomatoes should I buy? And they don't realize that they are in someone's way or interrupting the flow of traffic. But at the same time, what I do as an SE user is I just grab the first tomato can I see. But it's the SI user that is way more specific and way more in-depth in their sensory experience. They want to know, which can of tomatoes should I buy? They want to know, like, because they take that seriously. They take their subjective sensory experience seriously. They don't want to, you know, waste money or something. They want to be sure that they are getting the right thing. They don't want to just grab something. All of the introverted functions are more precise, and they dive deep with whatever they're looking at. And so this is just one example of how, if you are using SI, you might be diving deep into the sensory environment, wanting to pay attention to what's going on, but in doing so, you might be neglecting the extroverted sensing space that you're taking up. So curious to hear if you guys have any anecdotes or stories that fit this, your thoughts on that. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one, I offer life coaching that's linked below, and I also have recently started like a VIP Facebook group where I do live Q&As with your specific questions and share other observations and stuff like that there. So check that out and subscribe. Thank you for watching.